This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the executive chairman and CEO of my largest personal holding. I'm talking, of course, of Michael Hudson from Hannan Metals. Mike, how are you today, sir?
Very well, thanks, Gerardo. Lovely to be back with you.
Well, listen, exciting times. We're getting closer to what's probably going to be my Super Bowl in 2025, right? I'm, of course, talking about drilling for the first time on this, what has to be a coup of land tenure in Peru, right? And I say that in the best possible way with this 1,000 square kilometer plus basin scale play called Valiente. And now we just got a permit update for drilling at the Belen prospect. This comes right after the news on February the 6th that you sampled 69.1 meters at 2.4 grams per ton gold, including 26 meters at 5.4 grams per ton gold from another part of, this very prospective belt. I'm talking, of course, about the monster in Previsto Central. But this update for the drilling is for the Belen prospect, which has 3 potential company making projects that will soon see a drill bit, assuming everything continues to move the way that it's moved thus far. I want to commend, the authorities and the Peruvian government, because I've heard from many teams that there's been a step change in permitting and transparency and structure there in the last 6 to 12 months. And I think thus far, Hannan has been a good example of that.
Yes, well, no doubt we're often the deer of where it was just such a long time to get permits, and there was that lack of transparency and bureaucracy had taken over since. But that has changed now, and I'm of course very happy, and we're working very hard with the Peruvian leadership to bring it back on course. So I've seen it progress very closely. And it's a great outcome. Now, Belen is located 20 kilometres to the southwest of that Previsto discovery, which was those channel samples, those the 26 metres at 5.4 grams gold, etc. So we're 20 kilometres to the southwest. This is only 4%. Belen is 4% of the larger land package, which is more than that 1,000 square kilometres that you spoke about also, Gerardo. So what we've got are 3 different projects over about an 8-kilometre trend that have 40 platforms approved. Now, we got our DIA, the Declaration Impacto Ambiental permit back in late November. Then we had to go and receive and initiate activities permission or permit after that DIA. Now, that's what this press release is. We now have that, and this is a systematic and rigorous process that we're going through that's very well defined, that everybody has to go through in Peru. So that's another wonderful step forward. Now there's just a few procedural things that we could need to do before we can start drilling, which we're talking about in Q2, and I expect that Q2 will be very much at the start of around April, so the start of Q2. And those steps that we have to take are in the permits. They're defined in the permits. So we have to set up an archaeological monitoring program for any trees that we need to cut down that are greater than 10 centimeters in diameter. So we just need to go through that process, and we've got a field visit with the authorities sometime this month in February, so over the next few weeks. We've also got to submit and obtain approval for an archaeological monitoring program. Now, we have had the CIRA, which is a certificate, the archaeological certificate already obtained, but we just need to make sure that you don't go in there and damage anything that may be found while you're cutting tracks, etc. So we are actually in the position to start within the bounds of those 2 limitations, the access and the platform construction. But it's almost there, Gerardo. Just procedural stuff and a lot of detail for an interview. But we're taking this rigorously and with the care that it needs, and working very closely with all the stakeholders, etc. But we're very excited, no doubt, to start drilling imminently.
Well, listen, I couldn't be happier as a shareholder. And it's not just that we're at this stage; it's how we got to this stage. And I've seen it firsthand when I visited the projects. Right, I saw the social license work that was being done. I got to speak with stakeholders. I was able to talk to several of the prominent local leaders, and the enthusiasm for having Hannan come in and work with the integrity that the company's worked with. Obviously made that trip by itself worthwhile for me, because that's important as a shareholder and an investor. But when I look at the scale of the projects and I look at how methodical you've been about de-risking them, it adds a deep layer of confidence that, we might not just hit at Ricardo Herrera or Vista Alegre or Sortilegio. We might hit at all three of those, and each one has company making potential. To hit potentially on three it would make for a very, very Merry Christmas. Any thoughts there, Mike?
Might even be before Christmas if it goes the way that you're outlining there, Gerardo. But they're very good targets. We've done everything to de-risk them technically. We've done all the mapping, done all the soils, done all the IP work, and now we're just ranking all the targets. We've got basically between 12 to 15 platforms on each one of those different targets, and really the rigor is now moving to how to drill each target appropriately, and which one to drill first, second, and third, and how many holes to put into each one to give it its best chance of success, and not focusing too much in detail initially, because they're such large systems. So it's all what we know and how to do, without a doubt, and that's our expertise. But it is a bounty of riches in terms of what targets we've got to play with.
Well, listen, I got to congratulate you. I saw that you were recently nominated for Kitco CEO of the Year for Southern Cross Gold Consolidated, right? And obviously a part of that world-class Sunday Creek gold discovery. I don't know if they allow for repeats, but you might have a good case to make at the end of 2025, depending on what Mother Nature left behind, to go back to back, this time for Hannan Metals. Any last words there, Mike? Anything to add to that?
No, yes, I should say that you're only as good as the people you work with, and the people, the quality of the people, and reminding everybody from a Hannan perspective that I've been working in Peru since the mid-90s, so I've got very long and strong relationships there, and then also the technical leadership from Lars Darlenbori, who's been working with me for 16 or 17 years. And then down in Peru, we've got Cathy Vargas and Fernando Alva, who are very serious, rigorous, and very trustworthy and highly credible people who are doing all that work on the ground. So they certainly are the secret behind this company, and I may be the one talking about it, but they're the ones doing all the hard work. So I think calling out the team is very important.
Couldn't agree with you more. Very well said. Classy as always. Senor Hudson, looking forward to chatting. Cannot wait to get the next steps taken care of, and can't wait to see what the exploration plan looks like. I suspect we'll have that here sooner rather than later. Thanks again for your time, sir.
Thanks, Gerardo.
Hey everybody, Gerardo Del Real here. If you're enjoying the content that you just saw, you can let us know in 3 simple steps. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please share across your network and on social media. Take care, everybody.